Sorry about that. Chaim, sláinte. Hey, Erwin, what's going on, man? How's the weather down there? You getting hot weather yet? Hey, Raven. Yeah. All right, so here we go. We got 3 people. I guess, if I take a couple days off, people kind of drift away a little bit. Hey, Rhonda. Cloudy and cool. You're probably happy about that, right? As opposed to muggy and steamy and hot. Hey, Mio. What's going on? Yeah, I'm back for a few days, and then I go back into the last days of Passover and call it a wrap. We're already thinking about Friday. Give it time, right? Yeah, exactly right, Erwin. Same here. I mean, things are very cool, but I don't think that will last for long. Yeah, sorry, Raven. Yeah, it's always 11 and 7:45, but I've been taking some days off, so I have 2 more days of holiday, and then I'll be back to regular schedule. So that would be Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be off. I'll be back. Gosh, on Friday I won't. I probably will be traveling. So if I do a broadcast on Friday, it would probably be in the afternoon. Yeah, I get confused too, Raven. It's okay. Sorry. So I titled this this episode "Are Taxes Voluntary?" because I got a lot of interesting comments when I told people that I'm not so crazy about the tax situation, and under Nasara Jasara we'll have government that's 10% of the size. People say, well, if we don't have taxes, who's going to pick up the garbage? But it's like the amount of taxes they collect are not proportional to the services that we get. A lot of this is just outright theft that ends up in bureaucrats' pockets. A lot of it goes into programs to support their funding. I saw it in the school system. I mean, the same textbook that costs the Department of Education $120 might cost online $20. I mean, so who's making the extra $100? It goes into somebody's pocket. That's what I think. Just saying. So there's a lot of things that are hidden from us in terms of the TAX situation, but it rings true to me that it would be volunteers, since we've been told in numerous sources that it's an illegal. Federal bank is a private corporation, and they have no right to administer taxes, and they were doing it under the corporation of the United States, and now that corporation, from my sources, is null and void. So I don't know how much longer this kind of fraudulent system can hold up. Happy Easter. Yeah, your boy is back, man. Cool. I had a very nice break. Yeah, I'm still kind of in it. These are called the days in between. Dupurium parasite cleanse is that's beautiful to hear. Really? Okay, so everyone, I mean, I haven't really given as much attention to Purium as I would like, and as I believe in it, but I do think it's an amazing product. Wow, kept you out of the ER. That's what I mean. All these products are designed to keep you out of. This is your insurance policy, man. I mean, hello, um, these guys are your insurance policy. I didn't put any patches on this morning, but I will. These guys are this is your insurance policy, man. You don't need You do not want to go to a medical doctor. And it's not that they're evil. It's just that they've been trained by the Satan, and they don't have the goods. They don't. I saw an interview last night about doctors were asked how much time do they spend on nutrition in medical school, and they said like an hour, nothing. I mean, it they don't even think about nutrition. I mean, are you serious? Garbage in, garbage out, man. Hey, Tom, 100 million vanished through one person in my city, and it took forever to find it. She had a horse business, was funneling money. She worked for the people in need here. It's insane. I know, Mio. It's insane. It's an insane system, and we're waking up, especially those people on this channel. But let me just show you some of these things. Eon is for inflammation. Energy enhancer, man. This was the first one designed for the Navy SEALs. It's a two patch system. Let's see what else we got. Everything is backwards. Yeah. Glutathione, produce. Oh, it's upside down. Yeah, produce natural glutathione. I mean, this is your insurance policy right here. I mean, I got all these patches, man. I spent a fortune on this, but it's worth it. X49 I use every day. X39 I use every day. Resets your stem cells. I mean, how cool is that, man? Aloe Vita, help your pineal gland get decalcified. Nirvana, if you're having a rough day, man, put some of this on you. Let's see what else. Carnosine. I don't really know exactly what that does, but it's according to Dr. Stacy, it's really important for the big C. We call it anomachla. This is for like nights. Like last night, I had a hard time sleeping last night, so I put one of these on my forehead and I went to sleep for a few hours. Yeah, so that's just to let you know. I mean, and I don't think that's all of them. There are a few more, but that's pretty much it. There's one called Ice that helps you remove pain. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, love back. Derek Johnson, lots of great. Yeah, if you want to share anything you find, Mr. Ron, let us know. Texas are reducing property taxes from 10% to 5%. And they started doing away with property taxes. Yeah. I mean, why should we pay to live on a planet that we were born on? I mean, that it makes no sense. Listen to Nirvana also. Yeah, the Nirvana patch is nice. I like the energy. I like them all. The ice is taking my mom's arthritis away. That is so cool. And it's also, these things are great businesses, man. I mean, you're helping people. You're getting people. You're weaning people off the medical system. So it's not like you're. I don't think of it as theft. I think of it as an honest exchange and something that's really important for people. Happy Easter, man. Dana, change title. Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. What? Wait a minute. I don't want to change the title. I don't want to change everything. Thanks so much for reminding me. Yeah, there are a lot of moving pieces to all this. No church this morning. You feel fine. Yeah. I mean, you all gotta. I was in synagogue for a couple days, and it really felt good to be davening with a minion. I have to say, had the golden fringes off. What does it mean? It means that we are no longer a captured nation. We are no longer under the rules of a foreign institution called the United States corporation. We are free. We are basically free. It's just that we have to wake up to realize that we're free, and I believe that's the phase we're in right now. We're just all of us as individuals are realizing that, are taxes mandatory or voluntary? Do I really want to support my local criminals? I mean, I don't know. maybe not. Maybe I could put the money into something else. I don't know. I'm just saying, but it's certainly an area that deserves research. I mean, think how much time you put into filing your taxes. How much time would it take to find out if taxes are voluntary or not? And I can't say it for you because I mean I have my personal beliefs, but remember everything is hidden from us in terms of information. So it's really up to us to dig a little bit. We can't be passive anymore. We can't just rely on the government to help us out. I mean, the medical, our good doctors, and they are good people. I'm not saying they're not good people, but they don't know what the heck they're doing. They've been trained by the Satan. They give you, let's just blast this disease with every poison known to mankind. I mean, does that really sound like a cure to you? You know, I don't know. I mean, radiate it. We'll treat it with poisons, with chemicals. I mean, we're going to make you better by sticking tons and tons of poison and radiation in your body. I mean, does that make any sense? Or we'll give you some of these. You want some of this? So I think this whole system is about to go belly up, and I think all of us have been exposed to this and have seen it in action from 2020 onward. If you're still in the matrix, if you still believe that the medical system is peachy keen and you need to get a couple more of these, I don't know what to tell you, man, but I don't think there are that many people on this channel that really believe that. Sure, yeah. Shul is different from school. Shul means like it's kind of like a slang way of saying synagogue. I was in I was davening with a minion for a couple of days, meaning, that 10 guys make a minion. And when you have 10 guys together, there's certain prayers that you can say that you can't say when you're praying alone. And I'm just really recharge my batteries to get to daven with and hang around with other people. It's been really amazing. So, besides the fact that I'm like, the main part of this structure, the main part of the place that I'm staying is on a 3-acre pond, which is absolutely gorgeous. I saw turkey vultures. What else did I see? I haven't seen that much really altogether, but it's been cold. So the uh, the local animals may be still kind of chilling. We did find a messianic congregation that never paid attention to the big C. Interesting. Yeah, well, Jamie Dimon wants to take our money, right? I mean, I think Jamie Dimon is probably has already taken a trip to Gitmo, or he's got one of those special boots. But yeah, I'm not too worried about Jamie Dimon, but I do find it interesting that I have like I don't know if that's really a Jewish name, but they always put a Jewish guy to make it seem like it's the Jews in control. Louis Farrakhan, that's what it was. Two Jewish guys are sitting on a park bench. One is reading the foreword or something, Jewish. One communist, but and one is reading Louis Farrakhan's paper. So the Jew that's reading the Jewish paper, he says, "What are you doing? They hate Jews. It's Louis Farrakhan. Why are you reading that paper?" And he says, Adarabba, just the opposite. This is full of good news. Listen to this. The Jews own the world. The Jews run the world. The Jews have all the money. All the good news is in the Louis Farrakhan magazine. So, I mean, this whole structure of that that the Khazarian mafia is the one, they all want to point their fingers at the Jewish people. And it's just not true. Okay. The Jews, look at Israel. Look who got the most of these, man. The country that got the most. Look what happened in Germany during World War II. These are not Jewish people. This is the Satan. And these are just the people that they want you to see. The 13 bloodline families that come from the country V near Rome, They don't talk about those families. You don't hear about the Medicis, the Contis, and all these families. You hear about the Rocker people, the Roth kids. You hear about those. That's the one where they want you to look. Jamie Dimon, it's a Jewish company. Really? Really? Tell me about it. Uh, you know, I'm just saying, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of traveling, and my traveling is not over. I have one more big trip to do. I want a trip. I really didn't want to travel. I'm not the kind of I really like being in my space, but I'm finding it very refreshing to be out in the world. And I've met some friends. I've really met some, beautiful people. Um, some great people at the retreat I'm staying at, and it's you don't have to live like a refugee. That's the lesson here. And I may actually travel voluntarily in the future. I may actually like pick a place that I really want to go and spend some time there, make my regular broadcast if I can stabilize the financial aspect of this creation. Then I'll be more free. I'd like to go to Israel. I've never been to Israel. That's definitely in my plans, and I'm hopefully receiving a passport soon. So I'll have my passport. I haven't used it since like I don't know 2010. I think it said. And then I was only going to Canada to hang out. I went camping with my wife, and what else did we do? We went up to visit Rabbi Shriki in Montreal. If you're Jewish, you've never been to his hotel. It's definitely interesting. Definitely, I mean, the food is amazing. So my son is also he's working at some kind of Passover program, and he says, Tati, there's so much food here. It's just like you don't know what to do. I mean, I guess for Jewish people, it's for all people really. It's I know non-Jews too. The when they have like Thanksgiving and stuff, I hear them like at school. I used to hear them at school like talking about I'm making this dish, and my daughter's making that dish, and it's a very food is a very unifying factor. And if you ever you ever meet a stranger and you don't know what to talk about, talk about food. You'll make instant friends. You don't have to talk about negative things. I mean, the go-to thing that people mostly do when they meet somebody new is, isn't it horrible that such and such take place, that Mr. T got arrested? I'm like, I don't think it's horrible. I think it's great, man, because it just means that the movie is moving forward, and soon we'll be liberated. We're coming to Passover, and this is the great liberation event. We've already got through Makos Bakorim. We've already gotten through the plague of the firstborn. We've left Egypt. We're going to be dealing with the splitting of the sea on Wednesday night. How cool is that? And then Thursday, we're going to be celebrating the coming of Messiah, Mashiach. So things are really good. Lasagna, yeah. Lava cake. Wow, Tanya. Yeah, if you made it kosher, I'd be over there, babe. Sorry, I did it again. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm not really as lecherous as I think make myself out to be. I'm actually quite comfortable living by myself right now. We're blessed by the Lord. We all are. An interesting point that my friend Ezreal, I met a very nice young man named Ezreal, and he said that he's been hearing a lot about 10 million people that are descendants of the 10 lost tribes are when Mashiach comes, they will remember who they are. So, the Jewish people, I think he said, are something like 16 million people, which is a tiny fraction of the population. But when you combine that with the 100 million people that are, B'nai, the sons of the and daughters of the 10 lost tribes, there'll be a lot more of us. But really, we're all chosen people. We're all chosen to vibrate with 12 strands of DNA, and we're about to be put back online. I think that's really incoming. Things are really getting good as things are getting bad, but I made a video this morning. I just want to mention this, and then we will go into some intel. They don't fully understand it, but they're starting to probably understand it. They don't fully understand it, but they're people are much more receptive to these ideas. I was discussing some of these ideas on Passover to the community that are not truthers, or they're truthers in a different way. I think everyone essentially is a truther, but they're very open to it. Sure, I'll send the energy smell all the way. Yeah, please send Gene buyers, Lord, Amen, and glass buyers. Who's going down when you tick? My God, we're not. These fake Jewish people will. I don't know what you're saying, Dana. I don't know. Who's going down when you tick? Mock God. I don't know what you're saying, Dana. I'm suddenly smelling lasagna. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's keep it positive. Let's stick to the lasagna, right? Anyway, are taxes voluntary? I think it's worth researching. If they are voluntary, there's a lot of time that we waste on filling out these forms. A lot of time and energy we place in hiring people and figuring out line 11A and 11B and all this other nonsense. This is all cabal, not cabal. This is all the 13 bloodline families that have arranged and darker. There are darker and deeper forces than that. But you can look, if you just want to look on the surface, you're fully, it's fully accurate to look at the government and just say, you know, is my money really going here? Is it going to buy houses for BL matters people? I mean, I don't know. Is it going to buy useless weapons in the country U? Is it going to buy a new flavor of ice cream for Nancy P in California? I'm just saying, I'm not so readily available to spend part of my existence here on this beautiful planet considering financing some of these endeavors that I think are fairly illicit. Book deals, they all get paid off by book deals. That comes from our taxpayer. That comes from our hard-earned money. And I saw firsthand when I tried to cash out on my tax-free IRA how tax-free it really was. The IRS said, we'll take 10% off the top, but then we want another, I think they wanted 50%. I'm like, really? Is that called tax free? You want, so that's six. I don't know the exact details. I don't quote me on this, but they wanted a big chunk of change from my retirement fund. I worked pretty hard in the Department of Education, trying to escape the eyes and the hands of the admin, the working admins there. I'm willing to bet that the IRS will make an announcement. We'll hear something about the IRS. I think so. I think, didn't they delay it for a while? But I know it just, the reason I'm mentioning this is because on this retreat, I mentioned that I'm not sure about that taxes are mandatory, and people are rather emotionally opposed to this idea and felt that I was really risking things by even saying such things. But I'm not sure. I don't see how, if the Fed is going down, I don't see how the IRS can be operable at all. I don't really understand how that could be, but it could be. It could be I'm missing something. Right. Okay. This is a great point. My whole life, I was waiting for something. This is the moment in time, like all of you. Do I guess? Yes, indeed. We've been waiting for this event, and it is happening. The transformation of the planet. I mean, a lot of these things, the matrix does not make sense anymore. We can clearly see the government does not have our best interests in mind. They're pocketing a lot of this stuff. They're all related. I heard something about Kathy Hochul that she's related to I don't even remember, but they're all related to each other. They're all connected. The guy from Canada is a son of Castro, probably. I mean, they look very similar. Zelenko seems to favor our friend Georgie S. Angela Merkel is apparently the daughter of Mr. H, the guy with the funny mustache. I know my mustache could be funny too, but it's not. It's not a little weird black piece of fuzz on the bottom of his nose. Anyway, a landlord is huge for me. Yeah, I mean the taxes are just they're designed to it's not nice. Okay, so let's switch over to the intel. There was a lot of intel that I didn't really get to finish last night. Let's go for it. All right, there we got the intel. Now this message I've been trying to get. Let's see if I can click on it. My internet speed is not so good, but it says April showers via 421 to May flowers. Does anyone remember what 420 represents? 40 days from 3-1. Post 500 and post 1120. Moon pay upgrading terms and conditions. Yay, Intel. Okay, I got your back, Kadas, Ariel. I know you like this. Okay, so there's something at the bottom about two start drops. That's things are starting. Do you want me? Let me see if I can quickly check out. I don't seem to be getting anything. I'm going to check out unless somebody wants to check out post 500. I will do so now on my phone. If anybody has a quicker way, let's see. Okay. Okay, so it says 41020. 41020. So we're at that's today, right? That's no, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow is 41020. So this is a 3-year delta from January 7th to no, 5-year delta from January 7th. How did I get January 7th? Okay, right. This is from January 7th, 2018, but here's the post goes like this: DEFCON 1 41020. Fire and Fury, 9 states of class ready to go live, 34 commands live, codes command action, non-nuclear owl 1. It says 1 owl in kill brackets and 1 from 17. So let me check out the other post they mentioned, which is, let's see, let's go back. Go back and let's go to post 1120. It says clarifying. This is from April 10th, 2018. So this is a definite delta, 5-year delta. Clarifying Quang Quing, Tuesday, demand, G, confirmed tariff reduction, Tuesday, China, cars, article provides foundation, major import, Ford, US start. So something is about to go down with cars and China. And Ford US, major import. Ford, by the way, Mr. Ford apparently helped support the war efforts of the Germans in World War II. Hey, Shifra, good Pesach, good Moed. One person's weed is another's medicine. Yeah, man. Hindustan Live YouTube. No more parts for cars. I see. Okay. All about genetics. Love my seeds. Beautiful, sassy. Saw China, Taiwan in the news, right? We could be coming close to the scare event, to the World War III event. All of us know that it's just it's part of the movie. It's nothing to really fear. But that could be coming out. It'll be good news in that that'll mean the narrative is moving forward. So that's exciting. So we checked out those two posts. It says 40 days from 3/1 would be like around April 10th. So this is an exciting time. This is definitely something brewing. Why can't I move this up? There we go. No? There we go. Okay. Eyes on the Suez Canal. Frank Sinatra proposed to establish a truce in country U for 2 weeks from April 9th during Easter for Catholics and Orthodox. Qing may imply the two northern dams is 14 there. So that maybe they're saying that a lot of these dams and these 34 structures are about to go down. My ex-son-in-law booked a one-way flight for the boys. A one-way flight, that's interesting. Oivea Italian, did I spell it right? He supplies additives. He supplied more than additives. I think they gave major bucks. Remember, Germany was a devastated country at the end of World War I, had no money whatsoever, and suddenly they come up as the major power in the world. Who financed it? A lot of American financiers and international financiers, but at the end of the day, it was a 13 bloodline family operation. They had all the money to actually rebuild a country, a struggling country, and make it a major aggressor. It's the same bad boys we're fighting today. People need to, or I need to, like, make sure that I put the pieces of the puzzle together again. The the guy from Germany with the little mustache, he did not, according to my sources, die in the war. He went to Patagonia or Chile. I mean, lived out the rest of his life and gave birth to people like Angela Merkel, some other people. Anyway, let's keep going with this. McDonald's is being taken over worldwide is the keystone. What 17 asks us, all for good to support farmers. Let's see what that is. It says rebrand McDonald's restaurants are unveiled in Russia. What does that mean? The golden arches of Big Mac may have gone, but Russians saw 15 McDonald's restaurants reopen on Sunday under new branding and ownership. It's now called Vusno and Taka, which means tasty, and that's it. Creating a new, they're rebranding it. On the first day, 30,000 people were served. 850 locations in Russia. I see they got fries. Let's hope they're not last forever fries. Anyway, all kinds of smiling faces of people from Russia. A guy with a young man with his food. This is okay. So anyway, let me come back to reality here. It's such a part of our culture. This McDonald's. Oh, let's see, where am I? Okay, back here, back home. Okay, so let me keep going here. All right, I want to go back to the White Hat channel because both Whiplash, it's Easter, and they have every right to talk about their guy, and I don't have a problem with that at all. It's just when they really start bashing the Jewish people that I find that a bit offensive, a bit. So here we go. Trust the plan. In the end, Trump, Vlad, G, Modi, Ben Zalman will all connect for world peace. There is no other way. The real story is 0 point energy, Tesla energy, the resurrection of infinite energy in all. Excuse me. The future is coming, but first we must flush the swamp. So that's a very important thought. We have to flush the swamp. Okay. Drain the swamp. Complete flush out. Are you beginning to understand the arrest of Mr. T was staged by the military white hats and powerful commanders on the inside? The arrest of T is vital to operations, exposing Georgie Boy, the rocker people, the three-letter agencies, the DARPA organization, which I don't want to say out loud, Billy G, the Microsoft guy, and McAfee backdoors, Pentagon controlling social media. Everything is leading to exposing the deep state military coup against Mr. T and foreign interference in selection processes. Okay, so that's that. And we read that last night, but I just wanted to just touch on it. Now, this one, as the uncovering of hundreds of billions of CCP money was hidden inside Silicon Valley banks is being exposed slowly. Behind the scenes, military investigators are gathering data and breaking encrypted codes through the Silicon Valley Bank financial democratic laundering systems. The collapse and the DS connections are reaching the highest sources in the US government. It's all coming down, man. At the same time, Mr. T's arrest was initiated with 34 indictments, and the world photo that hit the EU countries last week before his arraignment was with Mr. T standing beside three other flags, right? And the comms were 3.4, 3.5 from the Law of War manual. Oh, I said I was going to check it out. I will. Let me make a note of that in my little pad. I'll check out the Law of I've got Blenator 3.4 and 3.5. I could check it out if there's a great interest in me checking it out. I could look at it right now. In the past 3 months, they've been talking about how you is winning the war. They're not going to be able to pull that off much longer. Okay, and here it says that Democrats are all connected to Gilligan's Island in the Caribbean, Ghislaine and Jeffrey. A 3-hour tour, sorry, they're pissing me off today, yeah. MSM, greatest crystal you can get the MSM. Russia does not allow GMO grown food inside their country. That's pretty cool. Yeah, thank you, Doug. That's nice, man. So I really appreciate that. That gives me a lot of hope. These guys are they're vilifying Jewish people, and it just doesn't make sense. Without even mentioning, and they don't even mention the 13 bloodline. That's, it's all about the Rockefellers and the Roth kids. I mean, there's no, Contis, Medicis. I don't know the other families. There are 13 families. We never even hear their names, but they're all intermarried. They're all whatever. They're all descendants of Cain. Okay, that should pretty much tell you everything you need to know. But we can't mention them. We have to look at George Soros because he might have some ridiculous connection to Judaism, which is a totally non-existent. I don't know. Anyway, yes, Mother Teresa was Fauci's. Yeah, Kane, right? How great to have you here today. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate that, sweetheart. Thank you. Yeah, it's really great to be here too. I really, as much as I love davening with my friends and newfound family and across the street and at the pond, it's really great to connect with you guys. I made a video this morning, by the way, and I have actually two videos coming out today, and I may have a third. I may be meeting with Eon later about Purium. Okay, so let's keep going here. So behind the scenes, MTG has inside information on the Gilligan's Island case through Mr. T. She is in the know of the coming Gilligan's Island saga erupting into the national and world stage. So it hasn't been forgotten. It wasn't like they took him out and that's the end of it. We're going to find out a lot more. From inside sources through Chinese Dragon Society organizations, they confirm several military investigations and courts, pre-tribunals, have already started in several countries throughout the US, Canada, and in the pre-tribunals, banking executives across the globe have been ushered in to give debriefings on their knowledge of government. The Gilligan's Island Five Eyes connection. So there are tribunals starting. I think we're coming into the flood momish, the literal part of the information flood, where the MSN will have to publish some of this information. And there will be leaks that they won't be able to circumvent. Last week, I gave you information that Virgin Islands was conducting secret military courts and debriefings with the world's most powerful elites and wealthiest, as Sergey Brin of Google and others are on the world's richest list. And no matter how wealthy they are, and their connections to BlackRock, the three-letter agency that starts with a C powerhouse, their influence to buy off and stopping the investigation into Gilligan's Island and Ring was avoided and null. White Hat AI system deployed to deliver classified documents to public sectors through the internet, and media has created chaos and panic in the five-sided building as the DS military operations have been revealed, and the deep state AI system could not stop the massive White Hat AI system that is dropping data. Behind the scenes, AI will drop the Gilligan's Island files, and the five-sided building is doing everything to stop the exposure. Okay, well, here's something from Sideburn Soldiers. 3.4 base internet intent-based test for applying justice in bellow rules. Just in bellow rules apply when a party intends to conduct hostilities. If a state chooses to go to war, I guess they're talking about this thing that is probably completely illegal. I don't know what jus in bello and jus ad bellum is. Pre-war manual. Uh-huh. The answer is all the same. Military 17 operations follow the White Rabbit operations. We all know this: Russia, China, Taiwan, Ukraine, world collapse and open, silent, closed wars will end when Mr. T comes back into office, placed, and all the events will lead to the tribunals, the military tribunals, full exposure of all these organizations. Right now, we are inside the storm, and Gilligan is key, and McAfee files, and terabytes filled with laundering, children things, and corruption is being shown across the world in closed military courts. T arrests signaling the 3.4 laws of war protocols, and this signal amplifies the war has already begun, and we are in the stages of jus in bello, the application of the law of war, re- reciprocity. When Mr. T takes full public control in 2025-26, after military relinquish 11.3 powers and Mr. F has been fully exposed, then white hats are coming to clean up the flood industry. I'm sorry, the food industry and the vaccines that are I said it, and the V's that are hidden throughout the whole world industry, including meat. I mean, everything gets shot up, man. Military protocols are being created to ensure a new generation of fresh food and agriculture, a world without GMO based food and chemicals, a system of trillions in fresh food industry, work, health, a vibrant new stage. The best is yet to come. The world is connected. Boy, is that exciting news, right? I mean, for me, I don't know why for me. I get maybe I'm more grub. I'm more you know like maybe I like to eat more than other people, but I'm so happy that like the food is being we're going to get decent food eventually. It's just like people tell me that like the vegetables in Israel are really delicious. You haven't really tasted a vegetable until you come to Israel. I mean, it's a shamda. It's crazy that I have to grow my own tomatoes to really taste what a tomato tastes like. The store bought tomatoes do not taste like the things that I grow in the ground. It's a whole different animal. But we're coming into an age that the white hats are working on the food supply, actively working to take out the bad guys. I know they've burned down a lot of production facilities. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And I think in the end, we'll all be rewarded with delicious food sources, delicious new food. Okay. That is huge. They poke the animals in Ontario. Yeah. I heard from my friend Sonia, who's on our channel, is one of our family members. She said that she hung out with the cowboys out west. She said the cowboys would not eat meat. I said, "Why?" She says, "Because they saw what they do to the cows with the big, with these things, with the ouchies." She said they wouldn't eat it. So what does that tell you? I mean, but we're coming into an era where this kind of practice is going to be forever stopped, and that's really exciting. These people. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit of this, what I can stomach to read. Oh no, I've already read this. Oh no, I haven't read this. I'm going to read this in my own ways, just to get through it. Yeah, this is really great. Sergey Brin, Jewish, Google founder, Jewish. I mean, come on, man. You really think Google is run by the Jews? Really? I mean, billionaires that Sergey Brin, Jewish, right? Thomas Pritzker, Jewish, CEO of the Pritzker Organization and executive chairman of Hyde Hotel Corporation. Michael Orvitz, Jewish. They have in parentheses, Jewish. I mean, the Hollywood Informant, a talent agency agent who co-founded Creative Artist. 1975, Mortimer Zuckerman, Jewish CEO of Boston Properties. I mean, these are some of the most powerful elites in the entire world and control corporations and companies. I have two letters to say to that, and that is BS. You know, get a life, man. Really? You really think the Jews they're really going to let the Jews do that? Really, the Jews own it all, man. I'm going to what do you call them? I'm going back to the paper by the guy who writes that the Jews own the world. It's just simply, it's a very convenient fabrication. So I just want to say that the white hat sources are also they must be reviewed carefully because I mean, really, man. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There are no wasps involved in any of this. There are no Medici Conti 13 blood. They have nothing to do with it. It's all the Jewish people. I mean, this is an example of the kind of like ridiculousness. But anyway, the Jews tried to bury the Epstein, the Gilligan's Island case, right, and pay off everyone. It had nothing to do with any other. Only Jewish people did this, right? The bloodline families, the corporations, all if you go in, it's all Jewish. I mean, I wish that was the case. Um, and stop their names from being exposed. Yes, this is a classic example of pointing a finger at somebody else that really points back to you. So this is from the White House. This is from a Patriot information source. I think it's a misinformation source. The Jews tried to bury the Gilligan's Island case. I mean, King Harry, or I mean, all these people, all these elites, all these royals are Jewish, really? I mean, we wish Louis Farrakhan was right, man. Where the Jews do own the world. That's the paper to read. But anyway, they tried to bury meaning the Jewish people. I mean, come on, man. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on this, but their names being exposed, it's all even the Queen was Jewish, right? I mean, all these reptilian backed, Canaanian families are. Anyway, how could the richest elites, backed by trillions of dollars, by the three-letter organizations? This is called, it's called the Satan, man. I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, there could be something Jewish about some of these people, but they don't practice Judaism. They're Satan worshipers. They go to, you know, that Grove place in California. They drink, that it's very explicit in Torah. We do not touch blood, period. We do not eat blood. I mean, the whole Jewish practice of koshering meat involves removing all the blood. That's why our chickens are so darn salty, because they have to. We have to take out. We don't touch blood. Khazarian, but to say Khazarian and Jews in the same sentence does not make sense. They're not Jewish. They're Khazarian, and this intermingling, it's a distraction to lead. And I'm the only, as far as I know, me and Gila are the only ones in the world that are defending these people. So the rest of the world, even the people who are awake, are thinking, this is a Jewish conspiracy. It's just a lie. And, it's an offensive lie. But, you can see, like, and this is really, at the end of the day, what we have to understand is that, God, first of all, that God is in control. That's very important. But we have to understand that this 17 force, as good as they are, as wonderful as they are, we as humanity cannot allow people to rule us blindly. We are not sheep. We are not cattle. We are human beings. We vibrate with the highest frequency, the highest amount of godliness of any species anywhere in the galaxies. We're the ones that are connected directly. We're the ones through our pineal glands that connect directly to godliness. So, you know, I mean, so at the end of the day, man, the bottom line is what we're learning through this experience, through this liberation. Remember, we're being liberated. This is Passover. We're in the process of Passover. We're being liberated from the bad guys, but we're also coming. We have to travel. We have to transform our mitos, our emotional attributes, into goodness. Then we are in the promised land. It's a two-part adventure. We have to leave evil and we have to go towards good. We have to transform ourselves. But in this process, we cannot come into the promised land and say, okay, I'm here. Who's going to run the world now? I'm here. I walked out of Mitzrayim. I left slavery. I'm no longer in debt slavery. I don't pay the taxes. I don't go to their silly doctors, and I'm out, man. And I'm coming into the promised land, man. And when I get there, I'm gonna say, okay, what's the new government? I'm not gonna do that. We have to come into the promised land and realize it's us. We are the new government. We are the peeps. We are humanity. We are godly. We are connected directly to source like nobody else in the galaxy. None of the other beings are connected to source the way we are. We are designed for that. Adam was connected to source directly. Adam was a big, loving dude, man. He was just like, he was blissed out with godliness all day long. They had to in order to get him to really confront reality in a sense. I'm just saying, this is the narrative that I accept is that the reptilians, the snake, the 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 grays, the Dracos, and a friend corrected me the other day. Apparently, there are good reptiles. I'm not saying I don't know. I've never met one really. I've seen some signs of people that I've been in contact with that they are not human, but that's another whole another area. But the point is like this: when we get into the promised land, which means when we ascend to 5D in our consciousness, we're not going to be saying, okay, who's the boss now, man? I'm looking for the boss. I gotta follow the rules. I'm all about, I'm a peep, man. I gotta have my, who's going to pick up the garbage? It's not, and I'm not saying that we have to pick up the garbage. Actually, we will be literally recycling everything that we throw out into the, there's a new machine that will make whatever you want. So I forget what it's called, but the point is that we cannot, and this is a great example. If you look at this white hat, this is all deep patriot 17 based information. We cannot accept it at face value. We cannot just say, okay, they're telling us what to do, man. I mean, I got it. We have to prove it for ourselves. We have to do our own research. We have to make sure it vibrates. That you're all empaths. If you're on this station, you're an empath. You vibrate with the highest frequency of mankind. And a lot of you didn't get this, man. So your DNA is not compromised. But when we get into the promised land, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not lecturing you guys. I'm telling myself because I have that tendency. I'm like, okay, man, I'm in a new prison. What are the rules here? What are the rules here? No, we're making our own new world. We're going to create. People are saying, oh, they're making these cities. I'm like, yes, they're making cities, and they're going to have us create it. We're going to be the architects. We're going to be the designers. We're going to be fruitful and multiply. But we are not going into the promised land and saying, who's in charge. We're not doing that because you could see from the 17s they want to blame the Jewish people. They're not free of their own agenda. They want to install, maybe they want to install Christianity, and that could be okay for them. That's okay. But what about the rest of humanity? What about Muslim people? What about Jewish people? What about Buddhist people? We may not all want to think the same way. So we cannot. That's why we left England in the first place, to have freedom of religion, to have freedom to express ourselves as individuals and to connect in our own way with our own minhagim, our own customs. I embrace the Jewish way. That's just, I made a choice. I made a choice to become religious. I checked out a lot of other religions. It's just for me. It doesn't mean everybody has to be a Hasidic Jew. You that it would be it would, That's not what the world is about. But we cannot, and this is a great example. We cannot accept people over us with just with a blank check and just say, okay, man, what do you want? How much taxes you want me to pay you? We're not doing that this time. Even if there are white hats, even if it's Mr. T, even I don't care what it is. We are looking beyond the surface, and we are going to protect humanity. And gosh, why aren't people passing on this message? And why isn't my message being passed on? I mean, we have 300 people here. There should be 3 million people here. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. But that's another, that's up to God. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I'm doing everything humanly possible to get our message, to get the message of humanity out there. Whether it gets out there or not, it's not really up to me, and it could be that I'll affect somebody else, and and it's not even me. This doesn't come from me. This comes from from source. I'm just the person with a mouth. I got all the good looks, so I could spread the info, but we're not we're not giving a blank check to anyone to empower us. We saw what a nightmare that turned into. We are going to decide for ourselves how we want to live. If you want to live in a city, you live in a city. I mean, that's your choice. You want to live in the country, live in the country. You want to worship, whatever. But to say to say that all evil comes from Judaism, I mean, that's a big stretch. So I mean, this makes these people very questionable to me. I'm just saying, and nobody else except Gila is out there saying this. Nobody else has the guts. The rabbis are busy reenacting the leaving from Egypt 3,000 years ago, when it's happening in front of our faces, and nobody seems to want to wake up and say, "Oh, that's politics." Yeah, really. And when we left Egypt, that wasn't politics. You know, that wasn't politics. Pharaoh wouldn't let us go. That wasn't politics. That was religious. That was godly. And now it's all politics. We can't go there. We're religious people. We don't deal with politics. We don't deal with the newspaper. We don't deal with what's going on in the world. We deal with Torah. I say Torah. If you really know Torah, you understand that Torah interlinks. Torah warned us about this. Torah is part of this. Torah is the essential piece to understanding what's going on right now. So if you're sitting at home and going man, listen, I got to go daven now, man. I don't have time for this kind of nonsense. Weber, can you get your job back? I'm like, no, man. We have to wake up, or otherwise we're going to walk onto trains like we did with this. This was a train ride. This was a train ride to Auschwitz. Mamish, literally a train ride to Auschwitz. And everybody said, okay, the doctors, they're good guys, man. They'll tell us the right thing to do. Yeah, they will. They'll tell you what to do. And if you let them. But I'm saying I'm pleading with people to understand that we're not leaving slavery, coming to the promised land in order to surrender to a king that's not really a king. What is a king? A king is somebody who has everyone in mind. A king doesn't have for himself. He doesn't, a king is only allowed to have a certain amount of horses. He's only allowed 30 wives, or whatever. I mean, 30 wives, really. I think one is more than I can handle. But the point is that we are not giving away our power this trip. We cannot afford to, and we must be careful that even the people that we see as the good guys are, and they are doing a marvelous job, and I totally support them. But at the end of the day, when they say things like this, it's clear to me that we meaning humanity have to be careful about who we place our trust in, and thoroughly vet these people, and thoroughly walk forward with the knowledge that, yeah, man, they're all about us. They have nothing for themselves. They don't have five houses. They don't have a yacht. They work like Mr. T is a stunning example of a real king. And I'm not saying he's Mashiach. I'm not going there. I'm not qualified to say those kind of things. But I'm saying, like, he doesn't do for himself. He's not, I mean, he may have, he has a lot of golf courses and a lot of places he can stay, but that's not what he's about. He's about doing for us. And that's a true king. A true king does not worry about how many Ferraris he has. He's about the people. He spends his time, making sure that the people get what they need. And the white hats are doing it. I'm not criticizing the white hats. So I'm just saying some of their, some of the, this is like mainstream media white hat information really needs to be vetted. And this thing about the four Jews on the world, I mean, you know, I wish that were true. You know, I get kicked back, man. I mean, maybe they would support my channel. Maybe I'd get like a Gavir, a rich guy, to just say, whatever, man. I really like what you're doing. I want to help support you. I don't get that. I don't get that kind of support. And I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want help from. I don't want to compromise my message. With. But anyway, that's not. I'm just saying, man, we got to be careful. And I'm sorry that I went off on a rant, but it just really it chills me to the bone to see the people that I respect, that I feel like I'm working with. I mean, nobody contacts me from the White Hats and says, Weber, man, we want to help you with your channel. We'll give you, we'll give you 10,000 a month so you can pay off your peeps in Nepal, so they can keep making beautiful videos. So maybe somebody will actually look at them. I mean, I'm not saying I'm happy with that. A lot of people look at my videos, but this is a message that should be everybody should be hearing this message. Everybody should be getting liberated from Mitzrayim right now. And everyone should know that when we come into the promised land, we are not surrendering blindly to a new control system. We are leaving the matrix. And it's not to build a new matrix. It's to build a reality that works for people, where we have clean food, where we have medicine that actually heals, where we have banks. We won't have banks. We won't need banks. We'll have a quantum financial system that will make the banks unnecessary. But we won't have a Fed. We won't have IRS. We'll have 10% of the government we have now. And we don't need a control grid. We do not need them to have their buildings on the ley lines and to be doing horrific things to our little ones, stealing our little ones. That time is quickly coming to an end. So I apologize for my long rant, but I see that there's a lot of intel I can do tonight. Here's one. I want to actually get some lunch today. So the gold fringe flag only stands inside military courts that sit in summary court-martial proceedings against civilians. Okay, the manual of courts. Okay, so no state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state. So why have the judges of the state and federal courts been allowed to elect foreign enclaves within our public courthouses under a foreign flag with the yellow fringe? It's a foreign flag. The yellow fringe means it's a foreign flag. We have been captured by a foreign entity. It's not a country. It's not China. It's not Russia. It's the dudes, man. It's the Illuminati. It's you call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. The real conspiracy theorists, as far as I'm concerned, are the ones who pushed this. That's called a conspiracy against humanity. That's called a train ride to to a city in Europe that starts with an A, where they say, work will set you free. Okay, it's not good for you. It's not good for humanity. Anyway, have a great day. Well, I'll be back. I guess I had a lot of juice from hanging out, eating all over Paso. The best food from the labor's the labor family. I'm getting really well fed and enjoying talking to people outside of our community. So yeah, God bless, man. I'll be back tonight. We'll finish these some of these comms. There's a lot of good information here, but yeah, love not hate. But we're not you know we're not settling for another control grid. We're settling for freedom, for peace, for good food, for lots of beautiful, healthy children. No more autism. Autism is extra, man. I'm not saying that autism is that the people who have it are bad people or anything, but it comes from, I don't know. You got to figure it out. You got to do your own research. You have to make your own decisions. But I say the a boss is still a boss. If it's a white hat or a black hat, at the end of the day, man, this is about liberation of humanity once and for all. We don't need a boss. We don't need to look up to gods. We don't need to look up. We just need to follow God's laws, man. We got them. We know what to do. We know what it means to live a moral, good life, clean life. All right. So anyway, sorry for the rant and gut biome. Yeah, it's about gut health. That is really true, Mia. Really true. All right, guys. Star seeds. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Sassy. I think that's a really important point. Let's see if this will come up. Oh, I missed it. Not that Island Girls thing is nothing, but yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean, I often, when I was being criticized for my instruction, I had spent 5 years as a special needs teacher, and I always felt that the kids could teach me more than I could teach them, but the administrators were not so cool with that idea. It's go time, yeah. I got you, Island Girl. That's a beautiful way to look at it. And I'll see you guys in a couple hours, if not before. I may be meeting with Eon about Purium, but keep moving forward, man. 1 in 36. That's, you know, that's okay. Yeah. You have to pay taxes. Yeah. Okay. Look, if you have to pay it, you have to pay it. That's all. If you're not, if you don't resonate with the frequency that, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that right now, but yeah, we did want to talk about that. That's what the title of this is: Are taxes voluntary? And I say, I'm hearing that, but you have to do your own research. You have to see where you vibrate, where your soul resonates with this issue. Okay. God bless, babe. God bless Hadassah Ariel, everybody else. I that's how I feel, but you have to do your own rock the world, man. Yeah. Let's rock the world. Okay, see you later. God bless. Get rid of Telegram and well, may the force be with you. Sorry about the rant. Maybe